Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into a rabbit hole of theories that will make you question everything you thought you knew. Have you ever been watching The Simpsons and felt a chill when something eerily similar happened in real life years later? We're talking about more than just coincidences. We're exploring the intriguing, some might say unsettling, concept of predictive programming and how this beloved animated show might just be a window into our future, or perhaps a tool to shape it. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because we're also going to confront a long-standing fear for many, the barcode. Is this seemingly innocuous symbol of commerce truly just a way to price your groceries? Or does it hold a deeper, more ominous secret, a sign whispered about in ancient texts, the mark of the beast? We'll examine the theories and the history that have led countless people to believe that this everyday item is far more significant than we realize. And if that's not enough to get your tinfoil hats tingling, get ready, because we're pulling back the curtain on the enigmatic men in black. Forget the Hollywood blockbuster. We're talking about the real-life accounts, the chilling encounters, and the whispers of shadowy figures who appear, silence, and then vanish. Are they government agents, extraterrestrial enforcers, or something far stranger? Prepare to have your perception challenged. This isn't just about entertainment. It's about peeling back the layers of reality and asking the tough questions. So, buckle up, hit that like button, and let's unravel these mysteries together. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive. Number 1, The Simpsons, predictive programming or pure coincidence. From outlandish gags to subtle background details, for decades, viewers have pointed to moments in The Simpsons that eerily mirror real-world events. Is it just coincidence? Clever writing? Or something more? The idea of predictive programming suggests that fictional media can subtly, or not so subtly, introduce future societal changes or events to the public consciousness, making them seem more palatable or even inevitable when they eventually occur. And The Simpsons, with its vast catalog of episodes and its satirical take on pretty much everything, has become a prime exhibit for believers in this theory. One of the most frequently cited examples is the show's apparent foreshadowing of Donald Trump's presidency. In the 2000 episode, Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson is depicted as the President of the United States, inheriting a budget crisis from President Trump. This aired years before Trump even considered running for office, leading many to believe the show somehow saw it coming. Now, before we jump to conclusions about Springfield being some kind of Nostradamus-esque think tank, it's important to consider a few things. Firstly, The Simpsons has been on the air for over 3 decades, producing hundreds of episodes tackling a massive range of topics. Statistically, with that much content, some coincidences are bound to happen. Secondly, the show's writers are incredibly sharp and often base their humor on current trends, political satire, and even potential future technologies. What might seem like a prediction could simply be a logical extrapolation of existing societal trajectories. Take, for example, the numerous instances where the show seems to predict technological advancements. From video calling to smartwatches, some of these predictions were arguably already in the realm of possibility or even under development when the episodes aired. The Simpsons often exaggerates and satirizes these emerging trends, which can later feel like prophecy when the technology becomes mainstream. Furthermore, the human brain is wired to find patterns and connections, even where none exist. This phenomenon, known as apophenia, could explain why we're so quick to see predictions in random occurrences, especially when they're presented in a familiar and beloved piece of media like The Simpsons. It's also worth considering the power of suggestion. Once a Simpsons prediction gains traction online, it can influence how we interpret future events, potentially leading us to see connections that might not be there otherwise. So, is The Simpsons a crystal ball disguised as a cartoon? While the coincidences can be undeniably freaky, a more likely explanation lies in a combination of satire, astute writing, the sheer volume of content, and our natural human tendency to seek out patterns. Ultimately, whether you believe in Simpsons predictive programming or see it as a fun series of coincidences, it's undeniable that the show has captured our imaginations and continues to spark fascinating discussions. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below which Simpsons predictions blew your mind the most. Number 2, Nostradamus. Visionary, prophet, or just a poet? What if the future wasn't a mystery? What if, centuries ago, one man decoded the chaotic symphony of human history, leaving behind a cryptic roadmap? A roadmap that leads directly to the end of the world. This is Michel de Nostradame, better known as Nostradamus, a 16th century French astrologer and physician living in a world racked by plague, religious war, and political upheaval. Amidst this chaos, he published a book that would echo for half a millennium, The Prophecies. It's not a straightforward book. It's a collection of 942 four-line poems, or quatrains, written in a mix of French, Latin, Greek, and Occitan. They are notoriously vague, filled with metaphors, anagrams, and allegorical figures. Take this famous verse: "Beasts ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers, / the greater part of the battlefield will be against Hister." For centuries, interpreters have claimed this predicted Adolf Hitler. The similarity to Hister is uncanny, and the reference to crossing rivers could be the German Blitzkrieg. Case closed, right? Not so fast. Hister is actually the classical Latin name for the lower Danube River. Nostradamus mentions it several times in a purely geographical context. The prophecy only works if you approach it with the answer already in mind. This is the core of the Nostradamus phenomenon: retroactive clairvoyance. We take a cryptic verse, hold it up against a known historical event, and force the pieces to fit. This brings us to the ultimate conspiracy theory, the apocalypse. Time and again, Nostradamus has been credited with predicting the end of the world. Doomsday prophets pointed to his writings to hype up the great king of terror, who was supposed to arrive in July 1999. But 1999 came and went. The world kept spinning. The truth is, Nostradamus never predicts a final, definitive end. His book describes cycles of disaster and renewal, much like the turbulent era he lived in himself. He never provides a specific date for Armageddon. The end of the world narrative is a modern invention projected onto his ancient words. So why do we remain so fascinated? Perhaps it's a desire for control in a world that feels increasingly unpredictable. Believing someone saw it all coming offers a strange kind of comfort, a sense that there's a pattern to the chaos, a secret knowledge we can unlock. Nostradamus wasn't a time traveler or a harbinger of doom. He was a Renaissance poet reflecting the anxieties of his age. His prophecies aren't a window into our future, but a mirror reflecting our own fears and our timeless human need to find meaning in the madness. The codes we seek to crack in his verses are perhaps just our own. Number 3, Barcodes, the mark of the beast. We live in a world defined by convenience, a seamless flow of transactions and information. And at the heart of this intricate web lies a seemingly innocuous symbol, the barcode. From the groceries in your cart to the books on your shelf, these black and white stripes are ubiquitous, silently orchestrating the rhythm of commerce. But what if these lines, so ordinary and mundane, held a deeper, more unsettling significance? What if, for some, they whisper of a prophecy, a chilling glimpse into a future foretold? For centuries, texts like the Book of Revelation have captivated and challenged believers with their apocalyptic visions. Among the most enduring and debated is the concept of the mark of the beast, a symbol, a number, without which no one could buy or sell. For many, this isn't just an ancient allegory, but a prophecy unfolding in our very technological age. Enter the barcode. In the mid-20th century, as these patterns began to revolutionize retail, a fascinating, if unsettling, theory began to emerge within certain theological circles. Could these seemingly harmless stripes be the very mark described in Scripture? The connection, at first glance, might seem far-fetched. A barcode is just an identifier, a way for machines to read information quickly. But for those who saw the deeper implications, the parallels were striking. The Uniform Product Code, or UPC barcode, in particular, fueled these interpretations. Notice the two longer, thinner lines at the beginning, middle, and end of every UPC barcode. These are known as guard bars, and for some, a striking visual resemblance to the number 6, especially when viewed upside down or in certain fonts, became undeniably clear. 3 sets of these 6s. Could it be the dreaded 666, the number associated with the beast? The theory extends beyond mere visual correlation. The prophecy states that without the mark, one could not buy or sell. And what is the barcode, if not the very gatekeeper to modern commerce? Without it, a product cannot be scanned, cannot be priced, cannot be sold. In an increasingly cashless and digitally reliant society, the ability to transact is paramount. And the barcode, in this view, becomes the subtle yet powerful enabler of this system. Now, it's crucial to acknowledge that mainstream theological interpretations generally do not equate barcodes with the mark of the beast. Many see the prophecy as symbolic, referring to spiritual allegiance rather than a literal physical mark. However, the enduring power of this theory lies in its ability to tap into deeper anxieties about control, surveillance, and the relentless march of technology. Regardless of one's belief, the barcode serves as a potent symbol in this ongoing dialogue. It represents our profound reliance on systems we often don't fully understand. It prompts us to consider the implications of widespread technological adoption, the subtle ways our lives become intertwined with algorithms and data. So, the next time you hear that familiar beep at the checkout, consider for a moment the humble barcode. Is it merely a tool of efficiency, or does it, for some, carry the weight of an ancient warning? The debate continues in the silent, striped language of our modern world. Number 4, Y2K was a beta test for global control. For those who might be too young to remember, or who've thankfully repressed the memory, Y2K stemmed from a simple programming shortcut. To save memory in early computing, years were often represented by only the last 2 digits. The fear was that when the clock ticked over from 99 to 2000, computers would interpret it as 1900, leading to widespread system failures. power grids, banking systems, even traffic lights, all potentially vulnerable. The response was massive. Billions of dollars were spent globally on debugging and upgrading systems. Governments, corporations, and individuals braced for the worst. And then, nothing much happened. A few minor glitches here and there, but the catastrophic meltdown many predicted never materialized. Relief washed over the world. We dodged a bullet, right? But let's consider this from a different angle. Imagine you wanted to gauge the world's ability to respond to a perceived global threat. Imagine you wanted to test the effectiveness of mass communication in shaping public perception and behavior. Imagine you wanted to see how readily populations would accept unprecedented levels of technological dependence and the authority of centralized systems to fix it. Y2K, in retrospect, provided a perfect, low-stakes opportunity to do just that. Think about it. For a sustained period, the world was united by a common fear, a fear rooted in our reliance on technology. Media outlets, both traditional and nascent internet platforms, amplified this fear, creating a shared global narrative. Governments and international organizations stepped into the role of problem solvers, demonstrating their capacity to coordinate a worldwide effort. And perhaps most importantly, we, the public, willingly placed our trust in these authorities and in the very technology that was supposedly on the verge of collapse. Now, fast forward to today. We face genuine global challenges: climate change, pandemics, cybersecurity threats. Are the patterns we observed during Y2K repeating themselves? Are we seeing the same reliance on centralized expertise, the same amplification of fear through media, the same acceptance of increased technological integration into our lives? The argument isn't that Y2K was a deliberately manufactured crisis. The programming flaw was real, but the response to that flaw, the way it was framed and managed on a global scale, could have inadvertently served as a valuable learning experience for those interested in exerting influence on a planetary level. It demonstrated the power of a perceived technological vulnerability to unite and perhaps control a global population. Y2K may seem like a quirky footnote in history, a relic of a more innocent technological age. But perhaps it holds a more significant lesson. Perhaps it was a subtle glimpse into the mechanisms of global coordination, a preview of how future, potentially more significant crises might be navigated, and how our trust and dependence on technology might be leveraged. What do you think? Was Y2K just a bug, or was it something more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 5. The men in black are real. They arrive in unmarked black cars. They wear identical dark suits and sunglasses, even indoors. Their expressions are impassive, their questions probing and unsettling. They're the men in black, shadowy figures who, according to a persistent and fascinating conspiracy theory, silence witnesses to UFOs and other unexplained phenomena. Are they government agents, extraterrestrial beings in disguise, or simply a modern myth? The modern iteration of the men in black mythos largely takes root in the mid-20th century, a period marked by increased UFO sightings and a burgeoning interest in the possibility of extraterrestrial life. As reports of unidentified flying objects flooded the media, so too did whispers of enigmatic individuals appearing shortly after, warning witnesses to remain silent, often with thinly veiled threats. One of the earliest and most influential accounts comes from Albert Bender, who in the early 1950s ran the International Flying Saucer Bureau. Bender claimed that he was visited by 3 men in black who intimidated him into silence regarding his UFO research. His account, detailed in the book Flying Saucers and the Three Men, provided many of the now classic tropes: the black suits, the silent demeanor, and the implication of a powerful, unseen force at work. Over the decades, the Men in Black narrative evolved and expanded, often intertwined with specific UFO incidents. Eyewitnesses who claimed to have seen unusual aerial phenomena sometimes reported subsequent visits from these mysterious figures. These encounters often followed a similar pattern. The Men in Black would appear unexpectedly, sometimes exhibiting strange or unsettling behavior, and would strongly discourage the witness from speaking publicly about their experience. The Men in Black conspiracy theory has permeated popular culture, most notably through the successful Men in Black film franchise. While these movies offer a comedic and often outlandish take on the mythos, they also tap into the underlying anxieties and fascination surrounding the idea of secret government control and extraterrestrial contact. The films have arguably solidified the image of the Men in Black in the public consciousness, blurring the lines between fiction and folklore. So, what explanations exist for the enduring belief in the Men in Black? Skeptics often point to psychological factors such as pareidolia, the tendency to see familiar patterns in random stimuli, and the power of suggestion. Once the initial stories emerged, subsequent accounts might have been influenced by these narratives, with individuals interpreting ordinary events through the lens of the Men in Black mythos. Furthermore, the desire for simple answers to complex and unsettling questions could play a role. In a world filled with uncertainty, the idea of a shadowy organization controlling information about the unknown might offer a sense of order, albeit a potentially sinister one. The allure of possessing secret knowledge, of being in the know about hidden truths, can also contribute to the spread and acceptance of conspiracy theories. Whether they are real government agents tasked with maintaining secrecy, figments of collective imagination fueled by fear and fascination, or something else entirely, the Men in Black remain a potent symbol in the landscape of conspiracy theories. Their enduring presence in our cultural consciousness speaks to our deep-seated curiosity about the unknown and our persistent questions about who or what might be watching us. And there you have it, folks. A journey through the uncanny predictions of the Simpsons, the unsettling implications of the barcode, and the mysterious encounters with the Men in Black. Whether you're a staunch believer, a curious skeptic, or somewhere in between, these topics undoubtedly spark a conversation. The world is full of unexplained phenomena and intriguing theories, and it's by exploring them that we truly expand our understanding, or at least our imagination. What did you think of today's deep dive? Do you have any personal experiences with predictive programming, bizarre barcode coincidences, or even a run-in with a suit-clad stranger? Share your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. We love hearing from you and fostering this community of truth seekers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with a friend who loves a good conspiracy theory. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more content that challenges the norm and explores the fringes of our reality. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop when we drop a new video. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and stay curious.